Welcome to today's 2-minute toolbox. Today we're looking at outlasting your impulses. Picture the scene. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and you notice a man standing in front of his refrigerator, and he opens the refrigerator and he's saying to himself, I am committed to eating healthier. And he looks on the refrigerator shelf and there's a sad, sorry looking salad, and on another shelf is a really delicious and loudly calling chocolate cake. And he says to himself in that moment, discipline, willpower, you got this. And then 5 seconds later, you see him on the floor, covered in frosting and crumbs all over the place, and a spoon still in his hand. And he says, that was worth it. And then there's a caption to this picture, another impulse, undefeated. Now, impulses are like waves. They rise, they crest, they crash, and then they back away. They're like waves. So we don't want to fight the impulse. The secret is learning how to ride the impulse. There are three things that I've learned that help me to ride an impulse. One is pause. Two is name it. And three is ask yourself one powerful question. Pause. As soon as an impulse hits you, when you become aware of it, pause. Oh, I have an impulse. Two, name it. Now, for me in the past, I name it this way. I've worked really hard. I have to have this. It's been a stressful week. I have no control over this. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not talking name it that way. Instead, name it as for what it is. There's an impulse. There's an urge right now. And the moment I name it, what happens is there's a part of me that sees myself from outside of myself. And then now that I'm separated from the impulse, I can see it for what it is, something that is temporary and something that will pass away. Three, ask yourself one powerful question. Will continuing to satisfy this impulse lead me to the man that I said I was going to be? Will it? Then I'll know what to do. Finally, here's what I've learned about impulses. The impulse to have that cigarette will pass whether you have it or not. The impulse for that chocolate cake will pass whether you eat it or not. The impulse to bark out in anger will pass whether you bark or not. See, outlasting your impulses are really not about willpower. It's about strategy. One, pause. Two, name it. Three, ask yourself, will proceeding with this fulfill who I said I was going to be? Now, I look forward to hearing your strategy. How is it that you outlast your impulses? Thank you for taking time to write in the comments. I read them all, and I'll see you next week.